Well, hey there, and welcome to the EnergieGal podcast, where we experience transformational conversations. I'm so glad to have you join us. My name is Lisa, also known as EnergieGal. I am a human design practitioner, as well as astrologer, tarot reader, and intuitive guide. I so love to help people discover, remember, and be who they are. You see, so many of us are not living the life that we want to live. We're living under and in and through lies and grief and shame and trauma. And so I really feel very honored to be able to help people, walk beside them, and offer perspective as they unpack their story to me. So if I can be of assistance to you, please reach out. The links are below. In the meantime, you'll notice if you're on the audio visual that I'm yet again here by myself in the studio. But I have invited both the Buddha and Thich Naht Hanh, that darling Buddhist monk, to join us in spirit. I'm going to be unpacking a couple of quotes and keeping it really short today. But oh my goodness, transformational conversation we are having. So I am taking a little snippet from my Freedom for the Modern Mystic. This is one of my journals that I have written. Available. Let me know. Check in below. This one is from day 4, and this is a quote by the Buddha. No one outside ourselves can rule us inwardly. And when we know this, we become free. Here's what I wrote in response to this, letting it unpack a little bit more. I remember thinking on many occasions that another person made me feel a certain way. For example, because he didn't remember my birthday, I felt unloved and unworthy. I began to express to others my sadness, my grief, my anger. I allowed his behavior towards me to determine the amount of joy that I manifested. His behavior towards me became a ruler upon which I measured my worth. Here's another example. I allowed an inanimate object, the bathroom scale, to tell me if I was a good girl, 128 pounds, or a bad girl, anything over 133 pounds. These arbitrary numbers set the bar for the day. Good or bad, happy or sad, joyful or mad, peaceful or stressed. I gave away my power to others, to situations, to objects, to the world's ideas, to society's expectations. My world was unpredictable because I relied upon the whims of people and situations outside of myself to dictate my mood, my feelings about myself, my future, my life. Slowly, I began to realize that I did not have to give away my power. It was within my rights to maintain my power. I could decide how happy I was. I could decide how joyful I was. I could decide how peaceful I was. I could decide I am a good girl all the time, even when I weigh 136. When I shrugged off the opinions of others, I became free. When I ceased to allow situations to dictate my mood, I became free. It took a few years, but it was the start of my freedom from disordered eating. True story, dear soul. So then I want to read just a little something from Thich Naht Hanh. He insisted on being here as well. He's like, if you've got the Buddha, I want to be there too. He's such a sweet little guy. And if you don't know who he is a Zen master. He's a Buddhist. He recently passed, but he was just so insightful. He had such a peace. He literally held a vibration of peace that was astounding. It was just amazing. And he was so wise and insightful. So he says this: a monk decides to meditate alone, away from the monastery. He takes a boat, floats out to the middle of the lake, closes his eyes, and begins to meditate. After a few hours of unperturbed silence, he suddenly feels the blow of another boat hitting his. With his eyes still closed, he feels his anger rising. And when he opens his eyes, he is ready to shout at the boatman who dared to disturb his meditation. But when he opens his eyes, he sees that it was an empty boat, not tied up, just floating in the middle of the lake. And at that moment, the monk understands. He understands that anger is within him. It simply needs to hit an external object to provoke it. After that, whenever he meets someone who irritates or provokes his anger, he remembers the other person is just an empty boat. The true source of the anger is inside himself. So we've got this concept here of freedom, of no one being able to rule us inwardly, that we have the ability to decide, to choose, granted at our level of consciousness, but we have the ability to choose how we respond to others. Nobody makes us feel anything. I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt who said, nobody can make you feel anything without you giving them permission first. So never, do you know that never again do I say, that person made me so upset? I might say something, I chose to be upset by that person. Oh yeah, they're still part of it, but I own the fact that I chose my reaction to the way that they have treated me. And of course, over and over again, I've always said, hurt people, hurt people. Whenever someone hurts me, I just think, damn, like, where are you so hurt that you're sloshing that hurt all over me now? We get to choose our emotions. We don't have to be at the mercy of them. That's a big deal. So if someone decides not to show up to your party, you can choose. How am I going to, what kind of mood am I going to be in? And from there, and this is the thing that really gets me, say people give you dislikes on your social media, or they don't respond to the things that you're doing, or they don't send you a thank you note, or any number of these things. You get to decide how to respond to that. And the narrative that you create around that. You can decide, oh, I got lots of dislikes, or nobody's seeing me on social media. It must mean I suck. It must mean I'm awful. It must mean I'm not a person of worth. It must mean I'm not lovable. You can create that narrative. Yes, you can. But you can also create the narrative, well, I'm giving my best. Maybe I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I got to decide whether I'm going to keep doing this or not. Do I enjoy doing it? I'll keep doing it. I don't really like doing it that much. I guess I'll stop. But you don't have to go to, I'm nothing but a piece of crap because I got dissed. They didn't show up to my party. I didn't get a thank you note. To be so mindful of the things that we're thinking, the stories that we are creating, the narratives that we're creating around the stories that we're experiencing. Oh my God, these are so important. Freedom, freedom, freedom exists when we choose not to give away our power. But that person stole it from me. Viktor Frankl, Auschwitz survivor, and he said, they might be able to take everything away from me, but the last of the human dignities, I think it was something along that, my ability to choose my reaction, my ability to choose how I'm going to react. The last of the human dignities, I get to choose. This leads me to, because I wasn't sure I was going to be speaking this, an enormous epiphany that I had, like gigundous epiphany that I had about a week ago, and I'm still marinating in it, which is why I'm surprised I'm even talking about it. When I meet up with anybody, the old me would have immediately, because I am an empath and I'm very open, would have immediately regulated myself according to their vibration. Okay, they're loud, they're big, this is what they expect, this is what they want. That's what I would give them. Because I was so good at knowing and feeling this is what I would present. Now, it might not be what I wanted to do. And what they were offering, I was like, it's not really my thing, but I just felt I just need to mirror and offer right back, accept whatever it is they're taking and offer it right back in mirror. I don't know what happened, but about a week ago, all of a sudden I had this gigantic epiphany that dropped down into my guts, all the way down into the belly of my guts, that I can take a deep breath when I'm around anybody or a situation. And I can hold it out there and I can ask it, what do you have to offer me? What is it that you are offering? And that doesn't necessarily mean that I say it verbally, but I might just put my feeler out there and be like, okay, so I wonder what this person or what this situation has to offer me. And once I surmise that, I can say, do I want that or not? And once I decide, all right, I think that sounds good. Go ahead. But stay in my own space. Yeah, go ahead. I'll receive that. I don't necessarily have to copy it right back. I'll receive that. But here's the thing that really surprised me. I could say, oh, that's what that situation has to offer me. That's what that person has to offer me. Not interested. I'm just not interested in that. That's not something I want to partake in. No. No thanks. Not only that, then I don't have to feel bad either. There's no feeling guilty. There's no feeling shamed. There's no feeling humiliated or embarrassed. No having to explain myself. No. Have a good day. It never occurred to me before. So it's been a week of freedom and a recalibration big time. So I want to end with this. How about you? Read today's quote aloud, please. Again, no one outside ourselves can rule us inwardly. And when we know this, we become free. Sit with it. Let it settle into your bones. Breathe the power of it into your lungs. Where is your power? Are you in charge of how you feel during your day? Or do you allow others and situations to dictate your life? I never realized I could say no. It never occurred to me. Like mentally, I was like, well, of course I can say no. But it never occurred to me I could say no. Like I knew it as a concept, but as a reality to be able to say, not interested. What freedom. What freedom. So, lots to marinate in today. I do so enjoy having your company.